Hello everybody! Hello, hello! I've got Shannon, the global coordinator, with me. And I have a stone in my lap. I have a stone in my lap. Now, sorry guys, I'm a couple of minutes late. I was being given so many orders. They were like, light the Indian temple incense, light the purple candle, this one, particularly this color. I've got the singing bowl, and I'm going to do all sorts of things, but I'm really, really happy to see all of you. And I hope you're all in a really, really good state of mind in terms of, you know, you've set the scene ready for this work. Don't worry about how you're feeling. Just make sure you've set the scene, that you've eaten, that you've used anything you can, candles, crystals. I need you to get the vibe as high as possible in your area to make this possible for us to do what we're going to do, okay? Let me get these lit first, because then I do want to actually ask the energy healers out there to do something for me. So I'll just wait till everybody's on and joined me. Hello, everybody. And again, I've got Shannon, the global coordinator, with me. So you guys all know who she is. And if you don't, and hello, Alicia. Alicia's going to be joining me afterwards for a lesson that we're going to give. So just get the Palo Santo all happening. Hello, Pooja, my dear. What else have we got? I think I do need to say, they're giving me a lot of orders today. We're going to do something that's pretty big. It's never been done before, what we're going to do. So I just want to ask all of the energy healers and the distance healers to just be ready, because I'm going to need to ask you to do something in a second. So we just need to be careful, because we don't want to burn the sofa. Baby, why are you making these silly noises? My dog's making silly noises. I don't know why. I'll take that toy from you. I'll take the toy from you. I'll give you something else. Do you mind, guys? He's making funny noises. 1 second. Give you another toy instead. How's that? Give you another toy. Look at this. You have this, and I'll take this. There we go. That's better. Sorry guys, I can't have, it'll be hard for me to concentrate. It'll be hard for me to concentrate if my dog's whining like that. So, all the energy healers, I'm going to ask you to send me some energy, because I've been made to not feel well the last 2 days, and I believe it's so that I would not do what I'm going to do today, and I believe I'm going to feel completely miraculously better once I finish this. So all of the energy healers out there, if you want to send some additional energy to me, because they've been trying to make me just feel unwell, so that, you know, like other people, I'd have a really good excuse to say, sorry guys, can't do it, not feeling good. Well, I'm going to do it regardless, you know. Let's try and get some waves in. If I don't get to wave back at you, just know it's just because I'm trying to concentrate now, because we have something super big that we're going to do today, guys. Okay, so singing bowl. Whew. Okay, so again, be doing all your prep, guys. While you're listening to me, do your prep. It's like my dog's energy. My dog's got this really strange, like, nervous energy going on that he doesn't normally have. You know how chilled he is normally, guys. So just know there's a lot of energy trying to prevent what we're going to do today. Hello everybody, I see everybody. I see Nessa, who's the South American coordinator, and I see Jacqueline from New York, the New York coordinator. I just want to get myself comfy, guys, bear with me. I just want to tuck my shirt in at the back here. Okay, yeah, because I'm definitely not feeling right. I'm like hot and cold all at the same time. I'm getting all kinds of strange energy, but Shannon's with me, so that's going to help hopefully to keep me sort of feeling strong and everything. So does everybody feel like they are prepped, they're ready, they've got themselves in the best environment that they can be in for this? So maybe just 1 or 2 of you can just confirm that. And then again, any energy healers that want to send some extra energy to me, I would appreciate it, because I'm literally hot, cold, feeling all sorts of strange feelings, but I know it's to do with this. So Shannon's going to be closing her eyes and doing the meditation along with you guys. And I did let the coordinators know this, and that is that there is a chance with what work we're going to do that it may be so tough that I actually have to leave the room and be in the next door room and do a bit of light language to force this through. And if that's the case, then Shannon will be the face that you're looking at for a few minutes. So if I do get up and leave the room, just know that's why. My angels don't want me to do light language live on video. They've told me that for the last 6 months, so I'm not to do that. But if I feel like I need to do it, then it will happen, okay? And I will leave and go into my bedroom. Okay, guys, so do you want to get comfy? Everybody, get comfy where you are. My dog's just being a weirdo. Let me just see. I need everyone dead comfy because we're going to be doing... Baby, stop distracting Shannon because she's got big work to do, boo-boo. Okay, come close to Mama. Okay, so I hope everybody can hear me okay. I'm not going to be speaking very loudly because I'm going to do this with you. So this is, it's hard to explain, we're just going to start, okay? So now can everybody close their eyes in the room that they're in? Oh, and before I start, immediately after the meditation, I'm going to give you a little download that I received. Then I'm going to click off, run to the bathroom, probably put some more water in my tea, and then I'll come straight back on and I'm going to do a lesson with Alicia Bravo, my master coach. So once you've done the meditation, I'm going to do a lesson on how to heal. But I've been told to record them separately so that they're 2 separate videos, but it will be immediately after this, okay guys? So please make sure you tune in for that. Okay, so just close your eyes now. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. So everybody, in the room that you're in, what we're going to do is we're going to individually create protection around ourselves. Now, what's different from this than any protection you may have done before is that we are not going to just create a ball around us. We are going to clean the space in between us and that ball before creating the ball. And the cleansing process is the hard part that not many people normally do. And that's what we're going to do together now. So the first thing I want you to do is imagine your angel team. Now, every one of us has an angel team that consists of literally, they look like Vikings. They are like army angels. They have big swords. They've got big, strong arms. I want you to picture your angel warriors. There may be between 6 and 9 of them. Could be up to 11. Some people may have up to 11, but I want you to picture these angel warriors around you. And again, these are tough guys. We're talking big, strong biceps. Their biceps are the size of our thighs, you know, and they look tough. They don't look mean, but they look tough, and they have great big shining swords, and they wear armor. I want you to call in your angel warriors right now. And here's the unusual thing. I want you to call them so close to you that their skin is touching your skin. It's really important that they are physically touching you, like shoulder to shoulder, chest to chest, back to back, that they are physically that close to you. So make sure you do that right now, guys. So you've called them in. They're physically close to you. There's no space between you and your warrior angels. Now, in a moment, we are going to give them orders to start pushing out, and we are going to start clearing the space that's between you and the 12 to 13 feet parameter that we want to create. This sounds easier than it is. This is going to take some work, guys, okay? So now what I would like you to do is give them the order to start pushing out, and immediately you will feel a huge oppression of dark energy. And you will feel that they can handle it. They can handle it, but you will feel that they are fighting against something pretty damn serious. They are stronger. They are light. Light always wins, but this is heavy. So you just start pushing. So far, we've got about 6 inches, guys. So I need to take a breath because I'm kind of doing this with all of you. So the harder you can fight your end and push. And as soon as you have a little bit more space, no, they said we haven't got enough space yet. So we're at 6 inches. Let's get to 8 inches. So again, they're pushing out, and they're clearing this space. Now, they never get pushed back. Once they've cleared it out, they never get pushed back, but it's the pushing out that's hard for them. So they get to 8 inches. Now we get to 12, but it's hard to get to this 12. Push, really push, guys. I'm pushing with you. It's making me feel a little bit sick, so push, push, push. Now at this point, I want you to ask Archangel Michael to be above you and Archangel Gabriel to be directly below you. Metatron is floating at a distance above you. There's not enough space for him to come in yet, but he's there, he's watching. And Jesus is also nearby. Jesus is waiting for us to clear enough space, and then he will stand beside you. So now let's push some more. We're on 12. So now we're going to push out, and we're going to attempt to get to 1.5 feet. Push, guys. Really, really push. This is tough. If you're breaking a sweat, it's normal. I am over here. So push out. Push out, push out, push out. We're at 1.4. Big push, and we're going to jump to 1.6. We're at 1.6, but there's a few stragglers, so push. We're between 4 and 6. Some are at 1.4, some are at 1.6. Push, push. Some of you are really ready to get to 1.7, so just wait a moment. If you're slightly ahead, you can send your energy back to those that are a little bit behind. Okay, 1.6.5. We're all together now. Remember, we're in unity. We work together. This isn't about just clearing ourselves. This is about helping those that need our help too. Mine is already cleared. I already did mine 2 days ago, so I'm just working with you guys right now. Okay, we're at 1.8. Okay, Jesus now squishes in beside us. So Jesus is with us. Now it's going to get a bit easier. But Jesus also is informing me that it could be a little bit harder because, you know, we're getting to get out to 12 to 13.5 feet. So, okay, let's take a break for a minute, guys. I don't know about you, but this is tough. Okay, let's push out. Let's get to 2 feet, guys. Let's get out to 2 feet. We're at 1.8, 1.8.5. Again, it's making me feel a bit sick. Okay, they're telling me to go leave the room. So Shannon's here. And Shannon can speak the same words I'm saying. I'm with you more when I leave the room. I'm just going to do some light language to see if I can get it out to 3 or 4 feet for us, okay? If you want to shovel over, Shannon, just help encourage them to push it out while you do it yourself. Keep going, guys. Can you feel it? It's making me hot all over. I'm really starting to sweat now. And if you feel any bubbles in your chest or you're burping, that's getting it all out. Just keep pushing it out, pushing it out, pushing it out. Burping, coughing, any of that, push it out. Okay, guys. We're doing a real big push now. We've got some real help now, okay? So let's push out. We're going to we're just going to push fast now, okay? We're moving through 4 feet. We're at 4 feet, guys. We're on a roll now. The Metatron is now close above at a slight angle. The other 2 angels are above and below. Jesus is beside you, holding your hand. We go to 4. We're going so fast now, we're on a roll. We're going to get to 6 feet. We go straight out to 6 feet. So now start feeling the space. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel 6 feet of pure, perfect, clear, light, love energy around you. 7 feet. 8 feet. 9. 9.5. Take a breather. We're doing really good. You should start feeling this around where your angel wings are, in the back of your spine. You should feel everything loosening up. You start feeling like you've been oppressed and now it's all been taken away. You're feeling light, you're feeling good. Keep pushing though, keep pushing though. 7, 8, 9.5, 9.5. Everyone make sure you're with me, make sure everyone's caught up. Anyone that's ahead, anyone that's easily at 9.5, send the energy back to those that, there's a couple of stragglers at 8.5, there's one at 7.5, let's help the girl at 7.5. I can see you, she has mousy blonde hair. I think her name's Chloe. Push, 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 or Catherine with a K. Chloe or Catherine. Push, push. Okay, she's at 8. She's at 8.5. She's smiling. Okay, all of us at 9. All of us at 9.5. Okay, Catherine, you can catch up. You're okay. Right, we're all at 9.5. Okay, just take a moment. We're on the home stretch, guys. Let's push out to 11. Okay, we're creeping up to 11.5. Okay, soon we'll be approaching 12. Anyone that wants to stay at 12 is allowed to stay at 12. This is now even at 11.5. If at 11.5 sounds good, this is a solid amount of space. If at 11.5 feels good and you feel like you don't need to push any further, you just stay and anchor your 11.5. Just anchor it and hold it hard until I complete. So we're at 12. 12.5 for those that need it. It's all to do with your aura size. Those that need it know what they need. The largest aura at present is 13.5. Not all of you need to go to that. 12, 12.5, 12.7, 12.8, 12.9, 12.10, 12.11. They want us to take a breather here. We're at 13. Again, 13's not for everybody. If 13 feels good, stay there. If you want to push on for the last 6 inches, just know if that's only for you. If you're at 11.5, that's fine. If you even stopped at 11, I'm being told don't stop at 10 though. If you're still at 10, I want you to push out to 11. I'm not being told there's anyone doing that unless it's someone who's already separated their energy from the group. Within the group that's with me, we're fine. Okay. So we're at 12.5. We're approaching 13. We're at 13. We're at 13.2, 13.3, 13.4. When we get to 13.5, I actually want all of you to say with me at the same time. Now, it doesn't matter if you stopped slightly smaller. All of you at the same time, out loud, I want you to say these words, stand your ground. And you're going to say it very loudly. And you're going to do a hand movement, like as if you were going to clap, but your hands are going downwards. I'm going to show you, but don't open your eyes yet. So don't worry, I will do it with you. Just be ready to say stand your ground. Okay, you're going to say stand your ground, and then you're going to open your eyes and see me do a hand movement. We're going to get to 13.5. Okay, stay with your eyes closed for a minute. Let's make sure everyone's there. There's one person that wants to push to 13.6. I think it's Alicia, my coach. It's because I got her to 13.5 yesterday. Okay. Okay, guys, are you ready? So, out loud, stand your ground. Now look at me, stand your ground. Now just do this with your hands. You are given, that's it. So you've given the direction. Now this, your angels are going to stand their ground now. Every 3 to 3.5 days, I want you to check that everything's good, and you can repeat this. I've taught you one of the most powerful meditations. You're to repeat this and maintain this circle around you. Everybody now has a 13.5 or slightly less if they were comfortable perimeter around them. So everybody just breathe and come back into the room, because I want you to get used to being in 3D but having this parameter around you. So just stay with me, because I'm going to give you a download in a second. Let's just take a moment. Just take a moment, guys. Remember this tool. You do not need me to do it with you in the future. You can do this yourself, because the hardest time is the first time. Let's just take a minute. Yeah, Mother Mary was with us, absolutely. And again, I feel well now. It was all to stop me from doing it. Okay, all right. Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, just taking a moment, guys. I want you to just really be aware of what you've done. Wonderful, Tori. I just want everybody to just understand what you've done and understand you did this. And this is around you. This is around you. This is solid. This is around you. And I need you to check. I need you to check at all times where your team are, push them back out. And it may take you 5, 10, 15 minutes to push them out. Have the patience, okay? This isn't to be rushed. Yeah, if you got dizzy around 11 and a 5, that's all you needed to be at. So you're good. You're good. 11 and a half is plenty of space, okay? Okay. So I'm just feeling like I needed 1 more minute just to have everyone, because this has been a big deal for those that haven't done it. Obviously, I've done this hundreds of times, so I need everyone to just... How do you feel, Shannon?
I feel good. I got dizzy around 13.5 is when I started to feel a bit lightheaded.
Yeah, that's because that's as far as anyone needs to go. Yeah. That's pretty far. It's far out, my angels are saying. You know, like in the 70s, it's far out. It's far out, like that. Okay, guys, so the download. Really, really important. Now, it's interesting because the coordinators and I have a chat. And Lindsay, the coordinator of California, I'm so blessed that all the coordinators are such wise women. You know, they were handpicked by God. They really were. It's unbelievable. And she actually reminded me of something I'm very familiar with, one of my teachings. In fact, I might be able to see it from here. Let me see if I can see it from there. There, it's at the bottom, the ecstasy of surrender. You see the grey? It's on the top shelf, at the bottom of the top shelf. So there was something that the coordinators were talking about yesterday that brought back so many teachings, because obviously I've been studying for like 20 years, but this huge amount of teachings washed over me all night and all the next day. But this book here, The Ecstasy of Surrender, there's a very specific download that I have for you guys today, and it is about surrender. At the moment, there are a lot of whispers. Even if you have your ego under control, there's a lot of whispers that are affecting even those that have done all the work. Now, the way to stop the whispers from hurting you is, one, we've pushed them back, so now they can't get as close. But second of all, if you feel any kind of negative emotions, I want you to say, I surrender. Now remember, you see, in the 3D world, surrender is weak. You know, like in the war, when a man surrenders, what you have to understand is we're surrendering to God, and we are doing what we know how to fix. We already know if there's something we know how to fix, if there's a phone call we need to make, or an essay we need to write, or something we need to do to improve our lives, we're going to do it. But there's sometimes things we can do nothing about. There's sometimes something we can't do anything about right now. And so we need to be able to say, I surrender, I trust God, I am love. So the main teaching, I surrender, is, think it right now. Think about something that's been bothering you today, whether it's about money, whether it's about a job, whether it's about your self-image, whether it's about a partner, whatever it's about, whether it's about a divine masculine, whatever it's about, I want you to think of that thing and then just say, I surrender. And can you feel the weight? It just drops. There's no weight on you anymore because you've just said, I surrender. I surrender. And again, it's not failing, it's power. And it's fifth dimensional power, because you are surrendering to God, and God knows what you can do in that moment. God knows what you are capable of. I am not telling you to not do what you're capable of. I'm telling you the things that you are not able to change right now, to simply say, I surrender. And then in addition, you can say, I am love. I have faith in God. I surrender. And this is not necessarily something to share outside of our circle. This is for wise women, because as wise women, we understand the power of it. I believe that if this information is shared with, the fact that you're with me right now after such a hardcore meditation means I know you're able to hear this, but I don't think everybody else is ready to hear it. So I don't recommend sharing this, because I'm being given a vision of a muggle girl that actually says that and then takes some drugs. So this is not for the people that are entertaining that stuff and people that are in ego, okay? But girls that are in the high vibe, to just say, I surrender. And you do it at all points. You don't need to push anymore and fight, and you don't need to stress in your head. You do what your higher self guides you to do. Make the phone call, go to the gym, write the essay, write the questions, write the list, make the contact, do the work, build the website, do the work. But when something comes into your mind that doesn't make you feel good, say, I surrender. Okay? So what I'm going to be doing now though, guys, is I think you're all in a perfect state because me and Alicia are going to do a live now, which will be how to heal. There's been some new members that have joined since the last time we did that. Hello, Albania. We will be doing a repeat because I think it's time for us to make sure everybody's up to date on how you can heal. And understand the work I'm doing with you guys now is actually for healed women. It's for healed women because healed women are getting approached with the whispers. And so with the whispers, what we did is we just pushed everything back. So now it's not physically, can't physically get as close to us. And then in addition, if it starts to try to tell us something, to sow a seed that will create doubt or misery within us, it can't do that because guess what? We just say, I surrender. Now what? What's it got now? What's it got now? You know, start saying, oh, well, this is going to happen and you can't do this. I surrender. It's like, oh, shit. That's what darkness says. When you say, oh, when you say I surrender, darkness says, oh, shit, she's not playing the game anymore. I surrender. I trust God, you know. So I'd like all of you to stay with me as I switch over. Alicia, are you with me, darling? I saw you at the beginning. Alicia, if you can just drop me a wave or something so I know you're there. Let me actually see if she's in here. Is she in here? She's probably in here. Oh, look, it's not. Look how the button's not working. Hold on. The button's. Oh, Alicia's there. Alicia, can you ask to join? If you can ask to join, Alicia, because it's not showing you as having asked to join. Yeah, it's not showing you as having asked to join. So you might need to click in, click out, ask to join again. Whew, guys, here she is. Okay. Okay, so Alicia's coming. Let's light up a bit. Okay. She should be with us any minute. I know it was Alicia that wanted to get to 13.6 just because we did 13.5 yesterday. And then I was meant to do it with Shannon, but we didn't have time before she got here. So that was actually her doing it for the first time with you guys. So that was nice that it was somebody else actually doing it with you at the same time. It's saying waiting for Alicia and it's been saying it for like 5 minutes. So of course we're getting tech issues because we just did major stuff. It's saying waiting for Alicia. I don't know. Let's cancel, start again. Oh my gosh. There we go. Let's try again. There we go. Okay. So let's see what happens. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. It's just, you know, the usual, guys, the usual problems. I'm just trying to add her in and it's just being weird. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. It's doing everything but letting me do what I'm trying to do. I'm seeing her there. I'm clicking the button. Add. There we are. Maybe it'll do it this time. That would be good, wouldn't it, guys? So I want to make sure, like I said, this is a good time for everybody to start, you know, and you can grab a notebook. Oh, there we are.
So my pad that I always go live on is not working for Instagram for whatever reason. So we just switched over to phone. I know.
Wonderful. So, yeah, well, I just had to do like 10 attempts to get you on here, darling. So that was a bit special. And
right.
I'm feeling better now. I was getting all these like unwell feelings and everything, like to try and stop me from doing that meditation. Was that you going to 13.6? I felt like it was.
You said it was me. I'm going to do my bowl and clear the space. This is the root chakra. Each bowl is a different sound. So this is grounding.
Lovely.
Okay.
Lovely.
And I know you cleared your space. I'm just going to do this now.
Yeah.
With my...
Because it feels like we've come so far since the last time we were doing the How to Heal series. You know, I feel like we have all evolved. We've all gone through a lot of things. I think a lot of people have gone through changes. You know, a lot of people have moved house, you know, separated from partnerships, whether that's business or personal, whether that's friendships. People have made new friends, if you think about it. You know, I started this community in October, and here we are in January, coming into February. I think a lot of you hopefully have some new friends, and having new high vibe friends changes your life, doesn't it? You know, having that support, having someone that understands, because we're not normal. We're here to save the earth. We're not here to be part of the problem. So having other girls that are like us. Oh, you're
Yes.
right. I meant to do it as a separate video. Sylvia, you're completely right. Ah, Alicia, do you think I should click in and click out, or just keep it now?
It's totally up to you.
I think we should keep it now that we got you in, because we might have trouble. But you're completely right, Sylvia. Yeah. Oh, because we're going to get cut out earlier. We'll have to just do an extension if we do that then. Okay.
Yeah, we're okay. It's
Okay.
fine. Everything's the way it's always meant to be. You know that.
Yes. Yes.
So really quickly, I just want to acknowledge, since I'm here in California, I want to acknowledge the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter. Huge
Oh, it's
Laker
his
fan.
daughter.
Both of them together. His 13-year-old daughter. He's survived by his wife, his 17-year-old daughter, and his 3-year-old daughter, and his 7-month-old daughter. So really heartbreaking and very shocking. And at the same time, it goes in part of what we're doing is the first day, last day mentality. We don't know our day. We don't know our time, how we show up in life. You know, I was thinking about his relationship, you know, with his wife, you know, her being with the person of, you know, her dreams, having all these children, and how they left, you know, were they on good terms? Did they have an argument before he left? You know, all these things that you think about of how we interact with our loved ones. Because our human nature is that we're going to go on forever. And so that's just really something about doing this and getting plugged in and being healed and breaking generational curses and doing the work that isn't fun. It's not easy, but it's necessary, and just driving us forward in what we do and knowing that it's for a greater purpose here on earth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the thing is obviously, you know, when I heard this news, I didn't know about the daughter, so that's kind of hit me in the chest and the gut. But I did actually ask my angels, because I heard in the Uber on the way home, and I just said, I said, you know, I wonder why they took him now. And obviously it's because he's to help from the other side with what's happening. But that's just so sad. It's so, so sad. And it's just, I can't believe his daughter's gone too. Like, that's just hit me too much now. Like,
yeah, they were on the way to a game together, him and another parent and another player. So
God bless.
You know, very. But again, we don't know. I mean, just I told you I was in that near miss car accident. You know, I saw the whole thing happen right before me. I mean, I gave myself whiplash the way I swerved out. You know, and just knowing how precious every day and every moment is, and to live our full purpose here on earth is huge.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with the How to Heal series, what we covered was quite a lot. We did it over a couple of weeks. What do you feel guided that we should start on today, Alicia? Just in case anyone doesn't know, Alicia is my master coach. So when I talk about if anyone wants to do a free call with me or one of my coaches, what I really mean is me and Alicia. In some ways, Alicia's better than me at this stuff these days. So, you know, if you get a call with Alicia, it's not a bad thing. You know, you're very lucky. And we do this, you know, you can just book a free call with us. It's fine, you know, and we will give you advice. If you decide, you know, to do whatever as a result of the call, that's up to you. But in the call, we're there to serve you and to answer what's going on with you. We're going to help you any way we can. So,
right.
You know, but what do you feel guided for us to talk about? Because I just feel like a lot has changed since we last did this series in people's lives.
It's really interesting. I think what I've come across with clients recently is their relationships with their mother. Really interesting when you say that we get our ego from our mother.
Yes.
And it's the thing that if we don't heal that, it's the lesson we're going to keep learning over and over and over again. And a lot of times as we age and our parents age, who's going to be the one that ends up taking care of our mothers? Right? So that's a big deal to be able to see that that's a huge part of this healing and the work that we do.
Yeah, yeah, because it's true, you know, a visit from your mother could be the greatest pleasure in the world, or it can actually put you in complete revert. You know, you can completely regress because you do inherit the majority of your ego from your mother. You know, brief ego education, guys, you know, you inherit your ego from your parents. It's actually the stuff they inherited from their parents. It's ancestral. It's the stuff that's been in your family lineage forever, and it can be cleared. It's not easy, it's not fun, but once it's done, your life changes forever, and you couldn't go back to being the old self-destructive person if you tried to. Even when you're tired, sick and hungry, you'll only get a flash of it, and then you'll be like, I'm tired, sick or hungry, my ego's flashing up, I need to get back to me. The work that we do to get rid of the ego, to put it to sleep, is very deep forgiveness work. And this is not like, hey, I forgive this person. This is so deep that it's literally like cleaning out a petri dish of every cell. I mean, how would you describe the forgiveness work we do? Because it takes weeks, guys, and we literally hold your hand through it.
Well, someone just posted, just spent the whole weekend with my mother and her mother, and it was the closest we've ever felt as a result of all the work that's been done.
Wonderful.
So that's really a huge part of, you know, what we're talking about. It's really interesting because we have years and years and years. I mean, I would think for Kobe Bryant's situation too, what shook me is that he's 41, he was born the same year I was, right? So that was kind of like, oh my gosh, you know, when you think of it. But we have years. And I was talking about to some clients that, and I literally asked them, if your mom had the opportunity to do a self-help, self-development course, go to a weekend workshop, would she? And literally every single one of them said no. And so it's because their generation wasn't designed and pulled towards that work as we are. And so, like I said, we're now the time to get it right for our children and our children's children. And those who don't have children, your nieces and your nephews are watching you. Friends and family are watching you. They're seeing the choices that you're making in your life and what you're able to shift and do differently, which is really huge. Those don't know, it's not just females, that we teach. I have had a couple male clients, we do marriage counseling. There's a lot of different things that we're looking at as the family as a whole to keep everyone in union. But for us, really repairing and feeling the love that people need to heal their childhood wounds. Yes. I have a client right now that has no memories from her childhood. That's not normal. There's, even if you do have one or two, you should pretty much know the environment you were in, kind of what you were wearing, kind of like the day, what it looks like. And when there's no memory at all, there was something that was blocked. That's a block that happened. And so we're going to go in and uncover that.
And that's the thing, guys, once you have done the healing work within yourself and you've truly, truly done it, and you can ask any of my graduates, they know, they have cleared it all out. And they'll tell you it wasn't fun doing it. No. And they'll tell you that, at times they wish they hadn't signed up to do this work. But now they've done it, they would not change it for the world. They wouldn't change it for the world, because that's the thing, is that it's once you are clear, you then have a foundation to build your whole life upon, because now the future and decisions and relationships that you have are not going to be impacted by your past, because the past is always with you while you're carrying it. We're able to reframe it, clear it, so it's no longer being carried, and we can actually use anything that is still there as a positive. But remember, guys, that anyone who wants a quick fix, anyone's like, well, okay, well, what's the affirmation? Okay, well, what's the 3 pages of the book I need to read? Okay, what's the website I need to look at? What's the YouTube video I need to watch? It's not like that, guys. This takes commitment. It takes work. You actually do have to go through some painful stuff, but the more high vibe you are, I find that the high vibe women enjoy the painful work because they can genuinely feel it. It's like when you go to the gym and you can feel your stomach muscles, and then the next day you feel your stomach muscles hurting. You're like, oh shit, I worked them. That's what the really high vibe women feel when they do my program. They're like, this feels really uncomfortable, which means I must be doing some real good,
Right. No, it's true. And it really is digging deep to be able to see that genetically, we talk about the DNA cord, right? So for me, I wasn't raised with my siblings, the younger. I may have saw them a handful of times by the age of 10, and then I didn't see them for 14 years. And when we reconnected, it was really scary to see the similarities in personality. Like there's two of my sister and a brother that are like, I call Tasmanian devils, where they come in and they suck all the energy out of the room. And they were like separated at birth, literally like two peas in a pod. They end up speaking till 4 a.m. I mean, it was crazy. And then I have a brother that I'm super connected to. And I always say that when I'm having conversations with myself in my head, it's his voice, which is hilarious that I hear that audibly, but yet we weren't raised together. There was a book that I was looking at on Amazon that I wanted to read, and I didn't buy it, but I looked at it, right? A couple weeks later, it shows up in my mailbox. And I thought to myself, I must have clicked on the one button Amazon to buy it, right? So my brother was stationed out in Kuwait, and he messages me and he says, hey, do you like the book I sent you? And I'm like, no. And I'm telling you, this book is like about water molecules. It's not like something that's like everyone has.
Funny.
Very
particular. We'll have to have a private chat about that. Me and Shannon were talking about water molecules.
Yes.
My angels do have something really specific they want to say, and they said this is going to trigger some people. So everyone hold on to your seats. They're literally showing hands, gripping your seats, grip your seats. And here's the thing. As someone that really is one of the best experts on the ego, I'm going to tell you this. Defeating the ego often does take an outside person to be able to point the ego out to you. And the reason why I need to tell you this is that I have a lot of very intelligent clients. I had a client that did a list of some of the people that she needed to forgive. And then I asked her who we needed to go deeper on. She was like, nobody. I said, well, I'll tell you what, let's just take the first 10 you wrote down of your list of 50. Those 10 people, it took her 6 weeks to work through them. But her brain told her she didn't have anyone to do. So had she been doing this in a self-study course or through a book, or just because she was clever enough to come up with the idea to do it, that would have been the end before she even begun. I've had other girls that have gone to do it, and classic example. Alicia, my #1 graduate, and now my master coach, my #1 master coach, when we did her forgiveness list, she didn't include her father. Would you like to tell them anything about your dad, just so they know how interesting that is, that you didn't include your father on your list?
Well, okay, so in all my defense, right, let's start with the excuses, because that's helpful. I have done 10 years of personal development, right? So my 10 years of personal development, my ego used that as food to say that I was healed and like we're good on that subject. And so what happens is we work on everything else but that. Right? We work on everything else but the actual the necessary item, right? Because that's the bits of food. And so I always say with this work that we're not just clearing the weeds, we're pulling it from its root. We're really getting those little seeds that they don't come back and sprout. And so that you're good for once and for all, which is pretty fantastic and amazing. But yeah, so my father is an absolute horrific human being. He's a monster. He's a child molester. He went to jail for it. He hurt several people in our family. And when I went to go put my forgiveness list together, he wasn't on it. So I read my list and Amelia says, so is your dad on that list? And I'm like, oh no, I've already dealt with that. And she says, okay, so great. So since your ego is really big, so maybe he'll listen to this because I'm going to be very clear about this. And I said, okay. And she says, put him on the fucking list. Like she was very like, and then she adds, and let's not put him at the bottom. Let's put him somewhere like up towards the top. So it was really funny because it was like at the end, she's like, you're just going to add him and put him at the bottom. That's not how this works. And so he was in the top 3, and it was really interesting to see, having to go back and clear that, because one of the things that I'm able to say is to be able to say, he's my father, he's my dad. I've never been able to say that. He was always just a sperm donor, or I had a detachment against the DNA.
God bless this girl. She only had a mugshot to work with on the forgiveness. So when we talk about forgiving people that are not easy to forgive, we take on the most challenging thing. People to think that when we're talking about forgiveness, we're talking about, brother stealing candy from you when you were a kid. No, we're talking about some serious shit, guys. But I want you to understand the ego is real, and the ego will protect itself. And if you're trying to do this work on your own, the chances are your ego is going to go, we just missed that bit, scoop that bit under the rug, and we'll go work on that stuff. So self-work on ego will get you somewhere, but it will not get you all the way, because you need somebody to be like, so you're trying to hide that? No, let's put a big fucking flashlight on it, you know?
Yeah.
And I've just been given my angels are into the gym at the moment. Don't ask me why. They keep talking about the gym. They said it's like me when I was going to the gym. When I was going to the gym, I have really strong thighs, strong legs. So I would go to the gym, I'd do squats, I'd use that machine where you push the weight, and I'm like, yeah. And then I hire a personal trainer, and I'm like, I just want to work on my legs and my stomach and my butt. And she's like, okay. And then she starts getting me doing all this shoulder stuff, all these arm things. And I'm like, I'm really shit. I'm like doing this. I literally look like a 9-year-old child going, I've got like, no strength, like this. And I'm like, can't we do the legs? She's like, well, we all like to do the stuff we're good at. It's the stuff that, like, literally, she has me in this TRX machine doing push-ups. And I'm literally just there going, and literally not even doing a push-up. Like, it's embarrassing. I can't even do a push-up. And I'm not even on the floor doing a push-up. I'm doing a push-up in a TRX machine, which is just these straps. And I can't even do anything. What she's saying is she's showing me where I need to work. Not where I want to work. Not where I'm strong at, but where I'm weak at. And that's kind of what me and Alicia do. We find out the bit that's been hiding, like hiding back here, that you're working on everything else, and all I'm doing all these meditations, and I'm doing this Reiki healing and this energy work and blah, blah. But the reality is you might have this great big elephant in the room that you're just ignoring. We're going to point at it, but not only are we going to point at it, we're actually going to help you dissolve it. We're going to help you dissolve it. And that's the difference. So it's having someone to point out the bit that your ego is trying to protect so it still has some good food. Because it normally has one person that it loves the food or the fuel from that one person. We find that person. Interestingly, I had a girl, it wasn't her mum, it wasn't her dad, which is the common ones, it was her brother. Very unusual. But when we went through a couple of certain questions that I do, that was her ego's favorite food, was her brother, her twin. So understand, guys, that this is different. This is different. We have to find the fuel. And then once we found the fuel, now this is the one where the ego's like, well, I just can't do this. Can't do this, can't do this. If anyone's going to run, they run then. I can't do it. They're like, I'm at a brick wall. But brick walls are great. Me and Alicia love brick walls because it shows us we found the food, and there is not a single brick wall that I have not broke down. And I have clients that have gone through everything from violence, from being nearly killed by a boyfriend, raped, stabbed, abused by parents, nearly murdered by parents. I mean, I'm telling you, it's serious what we've worked through. I have never not broken a wall down. So just understand, guys, that's what healing is. Finding the walls, finding the areas where your ego has sneaked away a bit of hatred or resentment that you kind of have forgotten about. It's helping you to find it and clear it, so you're no longer self-sabotaging in your everyday life.
Also, something is even in relationships is that people are repeating patterns of what they view as love as a child. And then they recreate that in their adult life. And then they have these patterns where they keep the environment changes, but the situation doesn't. Even in my dating life, I would say I dated the same guy. The face just changed. And it's breaking those habits and realizing where they come from and then clearing it once and for all. Yes. And knowing that you're the chooser in all things. Yes. Right? So
it's so true, guys. It's so true. So, the thing is that's why, I really just want people to understand that the healing process is really understanding, first of all, it's education and clearing. Now, what will happen is if you just educate, if you just learn about the ego and that it exists, then the ego will be like, oh, well, I know it, it will tell you, oh, well, we know everything, we're good now. But in fact, you've just educated your ego. You must educate yourself on the ego so you understand why you're going to do this really difficult, horrible clearing work. Then you do the really horrible, difficult clearing work, and then the ego starts falling asleep. Now your life has changed forever, and you are not like any other people you meet because your ego is no longer running you. And you are educated about it enough that if it wakes up because you're tired, sick, or hungry, that you're able to get a grip on it and understand what's going on. So
and maybe talk about what forgiveness is not, because I think that's always important.
Yeah. So forgiveness is not saying that you're letting them off the hook. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. Forgiveness is not saying that you're going to let them know that they're forgiven. And forgiveness does not mean that you are going to reconnect with that person. Forgiveness is simply removing the food of negative emotions from your ego so that you can live in peace, because you love you. You love you. You want to feel good. You deserve to feel good. You want to feel at peace. You want your head to be quiet. You don't want all these thoughts and stuff going on. You want it to be quiet. You want to be able to hear your higher self. You want to hear your guidance and your intuition. You want to be guided towards the life of your dreams. And you want to be guided step by step in trust and in faith. You want to be guided. Well, your ego's loud. Your higher self is quiet. It's very quiet. It's a very gentle voice. And so once we get the ego to fall asleep, the higher self becomes easier to hear, and it becomes easier to live a really nice life.
And I think that's the difference between learning the voices, because we were all, especially as women, we were all given a intuition, a spirit, a guidance, a gut feeling, you know, whether, you know, there's somebody lurking in a, you know, aisleway at Target, you know, whether you feel like, you know, you need to ask for assistance to your car. I mean, these things that we feel all the time. I mean, I'll be driving and I feel I'll pray over my car, pray over my house. Just these are these feelings that come. But also if the ego comes to seek and destroy and their lies to be able to self-sabotage, then you're going to go into these whispers that we talk about, things that, you know, make you insecure, that make you think that your partner's cheating, that make you think, you understand? There's not an intuition where you have a gut feeling to check. That's different. But there's these whispers that are constantly telling you different things over and over and over again to wreak havoc on your mind, body, and soul. And so that's the difference of knowing what is it to pursue and say, no, I know that I know that I know, and this is something I need to address. And other times when it's whispers where you need to say, shut the fuck up, I'm not listening.
Yeah,
you're not helpful.
lies.
There's a difference.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
This is lies, I'm not listening, which is why we just did that meditation to clear because the whispers are actually, the negative whispers are actually outside of us. It just sounds like our higher self, which is why I want all of you to push it back. Once you push it back, it shouldn't affect you as much. At the same time, internally, we have the ego, which is loud, which is when, you know, when people are like, oh, I can't sleep at night because my head's so busy. Or you can tell when someone's listening, but they're not listening. It's because they're listening to the thoughts in their head. That's ego, okay? Higher self is a gentle, whispering voice that's positive. And that's why at the moment, as we are where we are in this part of the universe, where we are in the galaxy, with this major transition that's happening, we're literally breaking into new ground, into the 5D. And because of this, the darkness has unleashed these whispers that kind of sound like the higher self. And so you do need to be able to question your thoughts and trace the thoughts lineage. So you have a thought. Say this thought says, I'm fat. So, okay, cool. Then you go, is this coming from love or fear? Well, it's not making me feel too loved, so I think it's coming from fear. And if you've done the work on your ego, then it's coming from whispers. If you haven't done the work on your ego, then it's coming from your ego. And so now you need to say, this is lies. I am beautiful. And this voice can just go away. But here's the thing, guys. If you haven't done this deep clearing work, you're just educating yourself and you're having a battle. Being happy, being at peace, being a healed woman is not about being in a state of battle. I wake up like this. It's because you've done the work. When people talk about think positive, that's still like a forceful action in that. Does that make sense? It's like someone having to like go uphill with rucksacks. I'm going to think positive. With me, it's like, it's just how I am. Because once you've cleared this stuff out, you naturally, there's just, you're the observer and there's the higher self over there smiling and being peaceful. When your only company is you and your higher self, how can you not be happy? But when your company is you, your ego, your higher self getting drowned out, yeah, you're going to be stressed out and not very happy because you're in the company of your ego, and your ego's job is self-destruction. And it is living on the emotions that were not processed within your parents and their parents before them.
Yeah, and for us, born in the late 70s, 80s, you guys will understand this. It's like your radio when you had static, right? And you'd move the wire and you'd hold it and you'd be like, oh, it's finally clear. And then it'd be static again. And you're like dialing really slow, right? Kids these days don't understand that. But going through that static and then being able to be clear. And it's something as simple as, I live daily here. I'm 100% clear all day, every day. And I heard, get your charger out of the car. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get my charger out of the car. Well, no, get your charger. It's in the back of the car. It's in your work bag. Yeah, I'll get my charger. I park the car. Get your charger. I'm like, get your charger. And I'm like, okay, already, I'll go get my charger. I turn back around. I open up my bag. I look up. Guess what? Forgot my charger. So I wouldn't have had my phone charged for my clients and all the calls that I had. And it was awareness of do this, do this, do this, do this. It was repetitive. It was the same thing. And it was for my higher good to know that I would have been in a stressed out situation later had I not obeyed. And even though it's not convenient in the moment or you don't want to listen, it's like being a 2-year-old. We talk about this, throwing a tantrum, like, you know, telling, I don't want to do it right now. But those are the things that are going to save you and spare you from disasters and things you have to heal from later. And that's really living your best life. And that's what we do all day, every day. It's helping people get there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So the thing is, guys, you know, the things that are available that you can do, you can buy the Return to Love book by Marianne Williamson. That's required reading for anyone doing my program. You can download the free affirmation track on my website, use that twice a day, and keep doing it for like 6 months. Do things longer than you think you need to. Don't think that this is going to be quick and easy. It's not, guys. This work is real, you know. And then at the same time, you know, if you do want to speak with one of us, like I said, it's literally that easy. You just click the link in my personal bio and you will we will call you, and we will be in our sanctuaries, surrounded by crystals and candles, ready to advise you. And it will be with myself or Alicia. That's it. That's the only people you would talk to. So we are here. And every girl that speaks to us, they absolutely love the experience because you have our one-to-one focus and attention, you know?
Does anyone have any questions? I see there's comments, but no questions. Let's see.
Yeah, and we're at 5:43, which means we will have to jump out and come back in to answer them. So if there is any, I needed that push to keep working. So we'll probably have to jump in. So just spent the whole weekend with Mum. Yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll jump out, guys, and then we'll carry on again. But just have your questions ready and submit questions. Let's see what we can do to help some people right now, okay? So we'll jump out, come straight back in. I'll see you.
Thanks, love. Okay.
Mwah.